12 weeks out from Abingdon Marathon, and it's time for a quick holiday after a really strong 9-week pre-marathon build. After a few days off, it's time to spin the legs and see how much that affected me on a session. Mixed threshold session on the cars today, just a small one. Let's see how we do. We're in the realms of 10 to 11 weeks out, I think, or 9 to 10. I can't remember exactly. The holiday's got a chokehold on me and I'm completely lost in everything. I've completely down tools and my body's appreciated the rest, which is why it's nothing crazy big today. 3k LT1 effort and then 5 bar K, nothing more, nothing less, and we'll get this one done. Alright, to my warm-up done. Heart rate's actually really good. I feel rusty though. Let's get into the LT1. Alright, so there we go, just coming to the end of the 3k rep. Watch it beep over. It's going to be around about 6:20 yet. Look at this. My heart rate only just got into the 150s. It was 140s for most of that. So from my body's perspective, a much lesser effort than I'm trying to put into it. From my perspective, always hard to get going. This is a biomechanical issue. This is a come on body, wake up from the holiday and all the chips issue. Nothing to do with effort. It's actually really encouraging to see the heart rate so low. And of course here I'm running on relatively flattish tarmac. The K's are going to be up, down, up, as we do them now. But overall it's good to see where pace is and heart rate's at after a little rest. Let's get into the K's. Okay, that was decent. We got moving then. Very happy. Felt smooth too. Maybe just needed a bit of a warm up to get into things. I think I got a bit of early hope in that first one. It was uphill and it went well, but I realised that it's a tailwind and it's a headwind coming down, which is not good. However, that is 2 done. Decent one coming back up again. Good. Over halfway, 2 to go. Good. 1 more to go. Brilliant. Fastest for the end. I think that first kilometre going uphill, or is very gently uphill, but it just puts in your head, doesn't it? You've got to raise your knees, drive a bit more, and I think that helped open me up a little bit. I was super sluggish on the warm-up was fine. That average heart rate was going to be in the 120s. As I said, the heart rate on the 3k was brilliant, but then I guess it transpires that I was going into a headwind, so perhaps that was part of the reason. But again, heart rate really low, but it certainly wasn't low on those k reps, so it went better than what I was hoping for. To be honest, I was kind of hoping for 550s on the LT1 and then 520s on the k reps. We kind of spread it out a little bit more, 620s on the LT1, and I thought, not going to be your day, you've had too much time off, the usual stuff that goes on up here. But the k reps were really solid, strong, felt good, very happy. cool down and get this holiday run done. Okay, so a quick hand wash of the clothes and we're back out on a Friday, just for a little 45 minutes easy before we go home. Wanted to run along the seafront today just to clear the mind and get ready for what's to come. Do I recommend 5 days off? Absolutely. I'll have 2 or 3 weeks off a year throughout various stages, try and position them in between training blocks, or I'll work training blocks around when I'm going to have a family holiday. That's the most logical thing, and today's one of those. I split this Abingdon section up into 2, knowing that I wanted to get a big base built before we went away, having had this holiday booked for most of the year, and then we're going to get locked in after this for the final 9 weeks. But I'm also going to be having a partial down week on week 5 out for the half marathon. So it's all a case of build, recover, build, and then rest this week, build, recover, and then final push for Abingdon. In a much better place this year than I was last year, so I have no need or urge to panic like I did last year, and gonna have a semi-decent week next week. Well, it'll be majoritively decent, but I will take into consideration the fact that this week has been quite sedentary, and so it won't be anything crazy, probably in the 60s, and then we're really going to lock in to some big weeks before the big day. So I'm going to lock in, enjoy the rest of this easy run, switch off, get ready for a longer drive home tonight, and enjoy the last day of the holiday. And I'll see you tomorrow. So it's actually Sunday now, not Saturday. Just wrapping up this down week with a nice 60-minute easy run back home here. Didn't get back late until 10:15 on Friday night. Massively busy day Saturday, so just swapped it around. And I'll give you my thoughts on having time off, because I do it quite regularly. I usually pencil in a good week off after a big marathon block, and that's exactly what I'll do after Abingdon. But I'll also sporadically drop in time off throughout the year. However, it doesn't mentally make it any easier. And when you do something you love and you have time off from it for no reason other than you know it's good for you, and you know the reasons why, absorb the training, let your body recover, build again, it's hard. You normally have time off because you're injured, you're sick, or commitments, you can't get out. But when you're sat at home knowing that you physically could run but you choose not to, it's a different ball game. And the session once again this week showed me not to worry. Heart rate has been super low. I was very happy with how the heart rate was at the end of the block, just seeing it come down, getting some really low readings. It is just biomechanical. As I said when I was out there, it was so hard to get going at a faster pace after 5 days off. But the heart rate was so low. Again, never had it that low. That 145 average is an average I'd normally drop in for a steady effort. Now my steady efforts are around 6:35 to 6:45, 6:50, sometimes nice and relaxed. And I've known it's been a bit better recently from the long runs, running in the 6:50s and clocking heart rates average 138, 139. So to drop 6:20 and have an average of 145 is very promising. I just physically felt like I could not get my body going. The science and all the tests and everything has always said like 7 days off is negligible, and I always find that 7 days off is a good time for me, because by run 3 or 4 I'm feeling like I'm back in the groove again. And 5 days, it's even less. When I got into the K reps of the session, yeah, it was fantastic. I've clocked faster K reps on a single K rep session for speedier work when I was in my speed block, but I don't think I've dropped many faster K reps than that in a mixed and more controlled K rep session. So yeah, I think it's more up here where it can trouble us runners, especially if we're like forcing ourselves for time off. But overall, I highly recommend it. I do it regularly, and it's good to put little endpoints in and little blocks just to wrap things up, allow the body to absorb and go again. Today, feeling really good. Kind of felt good on the Friday easy run, to be honest. But yeah, feeling really good again today. Excited to get going again tomorrow. And I also had to do a little bit of date checking, because I know in my session I said I think it was like 11 to 10 or 10 to 9 weeks out. It's actually 12 to 11. So I went away on holiday knowing that, completely forgotten. Holiday scrambled my brain, and I was really comfortable with the place that I was in fitness wise, going away and knowing that I had time and I wasn't going to be rushing when I got back like last year. And when I did my date checking yesterday, just to remind myself, it made me feel even better. I've got time, it's good, and the down week has fallen in a good place. So yeah, a couple of weeks more training, decent training hopefully, as we pick back up, and then we're really locking in for an 8-week build to Abingdon. Very exciting. I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll make sure I leave a couple of videos on screen here and here that you might like, and hopefully I'll see you guys over on one of those.